Mark Schultz here, and I am here in the bootcamp event group on LinkedIn tonight. And I have had such an amazing response to the Growing in a Virtual World bootcamp that I wanted to again give people a preview, because people have been asking me, what's this all about? All right. But as of right now, if you go look at the event up above, there's 388 people that have indicated they want to attend this boot camp, and that is just incredible. And so I wanted to take a time here today and give you a preview of what's going to happen in this boot camp. And so hey, join me. This is live right now, and I'm going to answer questions. And when I say I'm going to give you a preview, I'm actually going to give you some information about the boot camp and some of the content from the boot camp here today, to give you a preview to get you excited about what it is that we're going to do and what the boot camp is going to be all about. Hey, listen, in what world, would I put out an event a few weeks ago and have almost 400 people say, we need to do this. So this is really important to us. All right. And let me tell you why I'm doing this. Okay. Look, I just flew back from Florida on Sunday, I guess it was. And I just was so disappointed that some of the government came out this week in the U.S. If you're watching me from around the world, the government came out in the U.S. and said, hey, things are getting bad again, and we're locking down again, and we don't recommend travel for Christmas. And we are in the aviation industry, and travel is so important to us in the aviation industry. And it's just really disappointing, and there are just so many factors around us that impact us and just seem to get in the way of preventing us from what we need to do in business, that I think this time is like none else, that it's important to do this. And so I am going to give you a quick preview today of the boot camp and what's coming up. And so, hey, listen, I got all kinds of people that are joining here live right now. And so I wanted to invite you that if you're joining live here, I'm going to take some questions about the actual content from the boot camp. We're actually going to deliver some of the content today from the boot camp. So put your comments in there, and I'll answer your questions here live, during our conversation and our discussion. But look, if you look right up above this event right here, you'll see that we have this Growing in a Virtual World bootcamp that we put together. And I'm going to give you a preview here today about it, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what it's all about. And so listen, I'm just going to tell you that if you failed to thrive in this new virtual world in the past, look, it's not your fault. I just talked about this, is that there are all kinds of factors around us. And, you might be concerned in the past that you couldn't succeed and thrive in this new virtual world. And I just want to, have a conversation with you and say, we need to put some of those fears to rest, because, we in fact can thrive in this virtual world. We've proven that we were forced, to go virtual and to do things virtually in this world. And what it is that's stopping us right now, this is really one of the big problems that I tell people, is complacency. All right. Is that complacency wants you to think you can't grow your business or get in front of customers or be known, during this time. But it just simply isn't true. All right. Don't listen to that, because we can make a difference. And if you ever thought complacency wanted you to fail, well, you're probably right, because we all have this tendency to sort of settle and just sort of want to accept things the way that they are. And so, I'm going to give you a preview of what we're going to talk about, because it is so important that I want you to hear some of the early content of what it is that we're talking about. And so I just want you to know that my goal from this boot camp and from this boot camp preview is, that I want to help people to grow their businesses. And I want for people to get in front of their customers, and I want for you to be known. And I want you to be known without feeling like you don't know what you're doing, or feeling like you can't be professional, or feeling like you're going to go out of business, because those things will happen to us if we don't take action and move forward. Hey, I see we got some people joining us, and I really appreciate it. And, I appreciate your comments. I see Susan Friedenberg there. Thanks for joining. And there's others that are joining now. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Just let me know if you're here and where you're from, and I'll try to, acknowledge you and call out, and we'll take some of your questions during the process of this. But Susan, I want you to know that I believe that we can be successful at any time in the world when events are coming against us. Okay. And we had to be successful in the 80s. We had to be successful in the 90s. We had to be successful after 9/11. And and so it's really super important that we find ways to be successful. Listen, I have been in the aviation aerospace industry for 40 years now, all right? And, you know, I'm a pilot, I'm a mechanic, you know, I'm an engineer, you know, I got my MBA, I've worked for airlines, OEMs, I've done software development. And so, you know, I have a lot of experience in this industry. And what happened to me later on is I shifted, and that I spent the last half of my career basically focusing on the delivery and deployment of digital solutions. And I actually, before 2020, I delivered solutions and worked with over 200 airlines, MROs and OEMs. And about 4 years ago, I started promoting the use of technology and of software and the internet and social media to grow your business. And this is when things really started to take off for me. You know, this year alone, I've worked with another 200 companies and putting focus on recovery in aviation. You know, so this has been a super, super passion of mine, all right? And, you know, I've spent the last 20 years learning about aviation aerospace companies and what makes them successful. And early on, I developed a passion for aviation businesses and software and technology solutions. And that came from working in, you know, Northwest Airlines and McDonnell Douglas and Jeppesen and, you know, Boeing. And I saw operationally what it took for businesses to be successful. By the way, I've also started 21, I think it's 21, I can't even remember anymore, 21, you know, businesses on my own. And there were so many factors that were preventing us from being successful in solutions like standards and data and software and hardware and internet and regulations and just simply resistance to change, all right? And what happened is that these things were getting in our way and preventing us from being successful. And aviation was getting so far behind, and we were working mostly off of paper. And all these critical factors finally, just a few years ago, only a few years ago, you know, came together, and it was almost overnight. The last one which gave people trouble was regulator acceptance, okay? And it wasn't the regulators, it was just that we didn't maybe have everything in place which gave them the comfort that we were going to be able to continue to maintain control over the things that we were doing. But, you know, a few years ago, that went away. And I've actually implemented digital solutions, you know, at many companies with 10x plus returns, you know. And today in 2020, all right, this is so important. I want you to hear this, all right. Today in 2020, all right, the acceptance of digital data and acceptance of digital in businesses has accelerated dramatically, and it's removed the obstacle, you know, that we have out there, preventing us from moving forward. Now, you might ask that this boot camp you're having on Saturday, it's actually on Saturday, you know, does it really apply to me? All right. You know, I know many of you have struggled for years with these same problems. Okay. Because we've met each other, we've known each other in the industry. And I just want to say again that it's not your fault. All right. These factors have been affecting all of us and preventing us from success. And even now in 2020, you know, it creates even more the opportunity and the necessity for success, all right? Many of us are either not prepared to move, we don't know what to do, or we just simply don't have the time. And so it's really important that we engage in a manner which accelerates the activity we have in digital, all right? And listen, people want to know, well, what's the success that you've had? What are the results? What's the proof? Listen, I've literally this year started early in the year focusing on recovery in aviation. It's a passion of mine, okay? And I have done over 200 live broadcasts this year with industry leaders. And, you know, I want you to think about this for a minute, is that I went from doing webinars about a year ago and online events, and the most I could ever attract and people that I could get to take a look at what I was doing were maybe 20 or 30 people at a time, okay? 20 or 30 people at a time. And this summer, I did a virtual summit, and I had 6,000 people register for that event. And we had over 20,000 views of this virtual summit. 200 companies and solutions before 2020, and now 200 more, all right? You know, I have had a significant amount of engagement with companies within the industry, all right? Let me tell you what I want to talk about in this preview of the upcoming boot camp, all right? Is that how to advance digital transformation in your business. We are actually going to talk about the details of how to advance digital transformation in your business. What are the steps? I'm going to have a co-host and a guest during this section of it. It's a guy you've seen sometimes on my broadcast, Larry Little. And Larry Little worked at Boeing as well, just like I did. And Larry oversaw the Toolbox organization at Boeing. And he's got 40 years of working at Boeing. And about 20 of that, I think is what it was, roughly, working with companies in implementation of digital solutions supporting Boeing aircraft. That's my experience. That's his experience coming together. We're going to focus on how to help you to be successful in digital transformation. We have a literally step-by-step process that we're going to go through. Next, I'm going to talk about how to leverage the powerful movement of virtual to grow your business, what's happening out there today. We'll get to that in a little bit more in a minute, and how to be an online professional. Those three things are critical, right? 1, 2, 3 is that digital transformation, the power of growing virtually, and how to be an online professional. Those things are super important, in the whole process, right now. So we are going to talk about those things. And secret number 1 is how to advance digital transformation in your business. Okay. So listen, everybody is at a certain stage in a journey. The destination is the same for everybody. We continue to move forward and working on advancing our digital transformation, and everybody is in a journey of digital transformation. Okay. Now, some people think that business owners and leaders might think, I don't understand how to thrive in this new virtual world. All right. Well, will it really work for me? Well, I want to tell you a quick story just about myself, okay, and about digital transformation. I have been on a journey of digital transformation for many years now. All right. I was very young when I first decided that I wanted to get into digital transformation. And what I was focusing on was, I said, how do I go from paper into digital? And this was a long time ago. And I went from there to, how do I find the appropriate software and the data that's necessary? And I was on this journey where I was trying to find all the core elements that were necessary to be able to do digital transformation. I did it in the manufacturer. I did it at the airlines. I did it in engineering. I ran technical training. I ran technical pubs. And then I went to Jeppesen and I began to develop software for them, maintenance software. And so there was this struggle, because I told you that all these factors were not really there enabling us to be successful. There were so many things in my way. And then it was only just maybe 4 or 5 years ago that finally all those things came together and they began to make sense, because all the factors had really cleared themselves except for one, okay? Except for one key factor. And what that key factor was that I found was this, is that people simply didn't want to change, or they didn't believe that we could change, okay? And so if we look at how to thrive in a virtual world, believing that you can do it is a critical, important part of success. And so one of the things that we're going to do in the boot camp this weekend on Saturday is we are going to talk about how we raise, how we get people together and moving in a common direction, and how we convince people that we can be successful in doing this. How do we look at successful solutions around us? And so this all starts with understanding where you need to go, all right? And where your vision is and what your success needs to be. Listen, this is really good stuff. I hope you're liking this, all right? Are you getting this? Is this making sense to you, all right? Is this making sense? If you think this is making sense, maybe you can just throw a comment in there and tell me you're watching and this is connecting with you and this is making sense. But the number one factor that I've seen out there is that belief, is that people need to believe that they can be successful. Now, number 2 is people. Is that what do I mean by people? Is that it's very critically important that we look around us and that we consider how are all the people out there, and what's the knowledge that they have working together to be able to create success. We need to look at vendors and industry standards, and we need to look at people in our own organization, and how do we leverage people and putting them together to move in a direction to be able to create digital transformation. Next, this is the third most important thing. All right, you have to think about this. Is that what's the purpose for a business? The purpose for a business is for us to be able to conduct business, to be able to make money. And that making money revolves around certain solutions or services. And in order for us to be able to dramatically improve or enhance those, we have to know and understand those things that we're doing and which creates the greatest return on investment. All right. So processes of what we have and what gives us the greatest return on investment are, what we need to focus on. When people say, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, all right, that's where we're going to start. And we say, well, there's too much, I'm overwhelmed. Okay, well, we're going to take it one piece at a time, all right? And what we're going to do at the boot camp on Saturday is we're going to break it down and help you understand on how to understand your own business and where you start and what are the next steps. And you say, wow, I thought digital transformation was all about number 4, which was technology. Okay, well, it's not just technology, because technology now becomes the enabler to creating success in digital transformation. We are going to focus on how do we look at your business. Now, the boot camp was called a boot camp for a reason. We are going to be hands-on, looking at your own business. We're going to go through some processes, and we're going to look at how to create success in your own business. This just isn't going to be half a day, 3/4 of a day of just talking at you. You're going to have some worksheets. You're going to get in and you're going to start mapping out your own business. And we're going to be doing this together. And this is going to be something that you're going to need as a foundation to be able to launch you off into 2021 when I start talking about secrets number 2 and secrets number 3. Listen, there are so many people that need to know what to do. Like I told you, I have almost 400 people that have said, I need to do this. This is important to me. You are not alone, okay? And you can do this. This is something that's important, and you will be able to be successful in doing this. Listen, I've worked with a bunch of companies this year in creating success. I've worked with, just this year alone, I've worked with maybe 200, different companies, but a few of them uniquely came back to me and said, what can you do to help us? Well, I spent some time with Ramco, and you guys know Ramco out there, and they said, what can you do to help us to grow our business, and how can we be successful? I've spent time talking to ATP about some of the things that they're doing and helping them move into some success. Aerosoft content management system. And then last year, I focused on a couple of companies, Copesa and Embraer, and worked with a company to help deliver some digital solutions for them. They were creating success, for them. And, and so I want to just point out is that you might also just be thinking to yourself is that I don't understand how to thrive in this new virtual world. All right. Well, or maybe you think, I don't know what it's going to take to be successful in this virtual world, right? You're asking yourself, is there really a difference in solutions? Yes, there is. And I'm going to help you understand, how to sort that out. I don't know what's the right technology. We're going to talk about how to sort that out. What's the right technology that will enable success in your business, all right? You might be telling yourself, is it changing my business processes is just too hard, all right? Well, it is for everybody, okay? You might say it's too complex to change. Well, they're complex, all right? I spent an hour on the phone today with somebody who's writing an article, an editor that's writing an article, and he was trying to sort out, wow, this is so complex, and he keeps calling me over and over again, and I keep trying to help him to understand it because it's really complex, all right? You might be telling yourself, well, is it really going to provide ROI, or are the return on investments fake, that exist out there? Well, okay, we need to be able to establish a solid ROI with a business case that'll close. You might say, well, there's still too much paper out there today. I don't know what to do. The aviation industry moves too slow. Listen, these are all reasons or excuses, that we have. Listen, do you guys know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? I know you've been there before. I know you've said those things, and I know you've worked for people that have said that. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? And so, we've all found ourselves in this position, and we've all kind of doubted ourselves. But the truth is that companies are implementing revolutionary technology that's making them profitable, even in these difficult times. And if you're not doing it right now, you're the one that's falling behind. Okay. And so I ask you, is that what are you going to do to change that? Do you need just a little jump start? Do you just need a little bit of help, to be able to move forward? This is what it's all about. Secret number 1 is, how do we move forward in a digital world with digital transformation? And on Saturday, we're going to help you sort that out. All right. Secret number 2, how to leverage the powerful movement of virtual to grow your business. So what is that really all about? Once that you've started looking at digital transformation and you begin to implement it within your own business, all right, what are we doing to be able to now grow our business? How do we do that? What's important, to grow our business? Let's just talk about a couple of things which make that up. All right. Many people think, many business owners and leaders think, my virtual methods don't work, or they're not effective. Let me just tell you another quick story, if I could. All right, is that I found myself about a year ago. All right, and I decided that I was going to even more step up. About a year and a half ago, about 18 months ago, I decided I was going to step up my activity in growing my business. Okay, and at that time, I was doing some webinars, and I was doing some Zoom calls and things like that. And I found myself in a position where I would put something out, and I would get about 20 or 30 people that would be interested, and I had to work really hard to do that. And so it was very difficult because I hadn't really positioned myself and really started to grow, my audience, and looking at the content and the message that I was delivering. And so it's really important that you look at, what you're delivering and how you're delivering it and the methods you're using and leveraging of digital to be able to create success. And so early in the year, I told you that I started doing, some interviews and some broadcasts, and I started this initiative called Recovery in Aviation, and it really started getting traction. And since that time, I actually had 200 people that I interviewed and did live broadcasts with online. And then in the summer, there was so much traction and it was coming together that we decided that we were going to do a virtual summit and bring people together over a 3-day period. And what we found was that people were super interested in that, and we were able to gather 6,000 registrations and over 20,000 views in a 3-day period on this subject. And so it was amazing because in such a short period of time, I found myself growing, from maybe 20 or 30, participants in a webinar to 6,000 to 20,000, in this virtual summit. And just this event that I put out for this weekend, I've had almost 400 people that have expressed interest. And now I want to tell you something about events in time. Okay? Events in time drive change. Things like the internet, new fleet types, new routes, a new business, an economic downturn like what we're having right now. All right. And this is our opportunity to drive change, that we've always wanted to make. Do not miss this opportunity right now to drive change in your business. I told you that one of the last remaining obstacles that we had is acceptance of digital. People were just saying, I don't know if we can do it. I don't know if people accept it. I don't know if it's, something that is really, people are going to buy into, right? This is an opportunity that we have right now. And if you use this opportunity right now in the month of December 2020, all right, to launch yourself off into 2021, you are going to get a jump on things like never before. Social change is possible, and we're all driven to find new ways to do business online right now. We're all looking for new ways to do business. It used to be that we felt like we had to meet in person, and we had, and now people accept that we can meet virtually, and it just isn't something that holds people back, anymore at this time. Listen, just a quick example is that the last full year that I flew, I traveled 480,000 miles in 1 year. And that meant that I was sleeping on an airplane 2 to 3 nights in a week on a plane. I was flying 3 to 4 days for maybe one meeting. I tried to bunch them together the best that I could, but you can't always do that. And one time I flew to Hong Kong. I flew about 20 hours to Hong Kong for a 1-hour meeting, got on an airplane and came back. And it took me basically 3 days to do a 1-hour meeting last year. Okay. And we now have a moment in time right now where people are accepting us doing digital business, and we need to leverage our skills. We need to hone our skills. We need to grow our skills in this area and to be able to create success in doing business virtually. We can now meet virtually and people accept it. And, we basically have acquired an impossible asset. Let me tell you, is that what do we all want more in life? We want time. We want more time. Okay. You might think, oh, I want more money, or I want this, or I want that, but we want more time. All right. And all of a sudden we have found a way to acquire more time in our life. And that's by operating virtually. Okay. Some business owners and leaders, they might also think that, well, I'm not using social media. My question is why? Okay. We all need to become known. We all need to expand our global reach. We all need to have hundreds, if not thousands, of more people in our funnel. All right. And the only way to do that is to use virtual means and to use social medias and webinars and virtual technologies to be successful. Listen, I'm just telling you, listen to this one thing that you get from this today. All right. Is that the only way you're going to dramatically expand your business is by leveraging virtual technology, using technology to reach people, to become known, to filter out those people that aren't interested, and to reduce it down to the interested parties. And you will be able to reach more people by leveraging the power of digital that surrounds you. Listen, what I'm going to do is that this is a new opportunity, since we're forced to use the virtual world. And what I'm going to do on Saturday is we're going to talk about all the things that I've done, to grow my LinkedIn to 20,000 people, to go to the point where I'm able to attract, 20,000 people to a virtual summit, to be able to get 6,000 people to sign up. How do you do that? Okay, I'm going to go over the details about how to do that on Saturday, specifically and tell you how it is that you can be successful in doing this. The truth is that this is a new opportunity that's never existed before, and you need to leverage it. If you want to be successful in your business, now is the time to leverage it. Secret number 3, okay? Look at, you now have created a better digital environment in your business. You're now learning how to grow your business virtually, okay? Don't you want to present yourself well? Don't you want to be professional? This is the next one, is how to be an online professional, okay? Some business owners and leaders say, I don't know how to stand out or to be proficient as a professional online. Okay, let me explain what I mean by that, okay? How many of you have gone to a webinar and it was dark, or you couldn't hear the person, or there was no really coherent message, or they talked on and on and on, or all you see is the top of the person's head, you know, the whole time, okay? Because they're looking down or they're looking away at another monitor while they're talking to you, and it's just really super distracting. You know, there are things that you can do to be much, much more effective and successful in delivering messages in a virtual world, and we're going to talk about that, okay? Another thing that we're going to do is I have another special guest that's part of this third grouping, and that's Dean Cameron and Yanni Bears. Dean Cameron is the CEO and editor of Top Drawer Media, and one of the things they have is they have a magazine which is called Northwest Aerospace News. I happen to have a copy of it right here, Northwest Aerospace News. It's a very, very professional, you know, publication. And Dean is going to talk about how he went from paper into digital and how they do video. And one of the really exciting things is that he's bringing a guest with him, Yanni Bears, who spent 30 years with the British Broadcast Corporation developing videos. And he is going to talk about how to develop a story, how to communicate that story, how to do good filming of a video, how to be able to produce good video. Because we all know that video is becoming one of the tools of the trade out there today. People want to watch videos, right? So really, what are the key elements to success? You know, I'm going to talk to you about how to communicate a message, the hook, the story, the offer. These are all important parts of communicating a good message. What are the tools of the trade? I'm actually going to show you microphones and lights and cameras, and you know, what type of software do I use, and how do I broadcast, and I'm going to, you know, we're going to do how to do webinars and how to develop a great video. These are all things that we're going to do that are going to be part of this, you know, secret number 3 to help you to present yourself as being more successful. Okay, listen, I've been testing social media, webinars, software, LinkedIn, technology, you know, for 4 years now. I've been reading books. I've gone to seminars. I've attended masterminds. I've done 200 interviews this year, much, much more. Listen, I want to ask you this, is that you could do all this on your own. You can, you know, you are capable of doing this on your own, okay? But I just spent the last 4 years focusing on doing this, all right? What if you could sit down with somebody who's done this and actually leverage their knowledge to be able to create more success in this area? That's what we'll be doing on Saturday, yep, at the boot camp. All right, listen, some people also think, you know, well, listen, I don't know how to use LinkedIn. I don't really know if it makes a difference. I don't know how to grow my audience. What are the tricks? What kind of styles? What works? All right. These are the kind of things that we're going to go over. The truth is that you can model your actions after hundreds of successful interactions from online events and interviews. All right. You can model your actions after other people. All right. So let me just ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. All right. So we've covered secret number 1, which is, you know, how to advance digital transformation in your business. All right. We've covered secret number 2, how to leverage the powerful movement of virtual and to grow your business in this time based on that foundation. Number 3, how to be an online professional. So the question I have is that, so who wants to take things to the next level in their business? Okay. Are you getting this? I hope that this has been interesting information for you, because even this preview that I'm providing you right now, I hope is providing you some valuable insight into the things that you need to do within your business. But who wants to take this to the next level? Do you want to take this to the next level? There's so many people that do. I've had 400 people that have signed up for this event this weekend already. So who wants to take this to the next level? Listen, I want to introduce to you again, Saturday, December 5th, which is just 2 days from now, we're doing this boot camp called Growing Your Business in a Virtual World. All right. And in a matter of a short period of about 6 hours, one day, you are going to be able to establish a foundation for launching yourself into 2021 and get over all the challenges that we have in motivation and moving forward. All right. And so here, I have something else for you. Listen, this boot camp that I'm doing is all about, this is what I'm all about. Okay. I'm all about helping you to define and move forward your digital transformation efforts. I have a specific methodology, which is based on those 4 pillars: belief, people, process, and technology. And processes that surround that. I've actually developed a 30-day program to work with people surrounding that. And I'm going to abbreviate that into Saturday and allow you to be able to leverage that knowledge that I've put together. And this is going to define and help you to be able to move forward on your own personal digital transformation efforts. Okay, number 1. Number 2, I'm passionate about helping people grow their business and get in front of their customers and to be known. Okay, you'll start to see real results immediately after the boot camp. This isn't something you'll just think about and then go away and not do. If you apply it, you will immediately start to see results. Okay. And it's without not knowing what to do. You'll see results without not knowing what to do, without looking unprofessional. Simply, if you don't do something in your own business, you're going to find yourself struggling and maybe even going out of business or losing your job. So the question is that, will you take control of moving forward? Okay, that's the question. Listen, I want to talk to you about this boot camp and what you're going to get in this boot camp. For those of you that agreed to join, this is what you're going to get. Look, I want to tell you is that this boot camp would normally be valued at about $997. Okay, this growing in a virtual world boot camp and all the things that you're going to get with that, you can see there. Now, the proof comes from all the people I've worked with this year. Just this year, I've worked with, like I said, over 200 people and helping them to be able to get their message out in a virtual world. This is going to work for business leaders, business owners, business development professionals, IT professionals, engineers, innovators, any of us that are working in the digital world. It's going to work for us to be successful. Listen, I just want to for a minute ask you this, is that why have you not started moving forward? Listen, I know that we're all feeling, suppressed and there's a lot of challenges around us, and some of you have lost jobs and some of us just don't even know where to start, or maybe we need some motivation, or maybe we need some support. This is what we're doing, okay? We're creating an environment to help people to be able to move forward, to get past the challenges that we've had and leverage the knowledge of myself and the people that are going to be on this boot camp this weekend, and all the knowledge that we've picked up from the over 200 people of strategies and tactics over the course of this year, and impart them to you, during this boot camp to help you to move forward. Listen, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a growing in a virtual world boot camp. And like I said, it's worth $1,000. It's worth $997. But we're going to put some extra things in there because I want you to be successful. I really want you to be successful, okay? And so in addition to that, I have committed to doing a live broadcast with you, or it could be a recorded interview session if there's any problems with that. But our plan is to do a live broadcast with you. And I just want to tell you, I mentioned this to some people recently, is that I had an event organizer come to me last week and they said, hey, I'll do one webinar for you next year. And they wanted $4,000 to do that one webinar. That's a lot of money, right? And so just doing a live broadcast, like I said, I've done like 200 of them this year already, can be worth like $4,000, to that person. And it gives them actual hands-on experience as part of this boot camp. But yet there's more, okay? Is that we're going to have a PDF-based workbook that will be valued at $47. We're going to give you the recordings of the boot camp afterwards so you can go back and review them. And you're going to have unlimited access that's going to be hosted in a portal, and that's worth $297. We're going to give you the audio podcast of that so that you can access it and listen to it. Total, that comes to $5,388, okay? And so this is what you're going to get. That's the entire complement of what you're going to get. Now, if all I did was, okay, now obviously I'm not going to charge you $5,388, all right? But if I did charge you $5,388 and all it did was show you exactly how to become a successful online professional, I have a question. Would it be worth it to you? Okay, think about this for a minute. If you forked down $5,000 and if it helped you to be an online professional, would it be worth it? Okay. If all I did was to help you to get started on defining a vision for digital transformation, okay, would that be worth $5,000? I hope some of you would say yes. All right. I've been working as a consultant a good portion of my career. And at different times, I was charging $1,000 an hour for the consulting services. It just depended upon what we were doing. And so that could be 5 hours worth of consulting. And if all I did was to help you get one new customer, would that be worth $5,000? I hope so. All right. And if all I did was to give you a 6 to 12 month jump on figuring out how to be successful, would that be worth $5,000? All right. I hope you say yes to all of these things, because I think it is right now. Okay. So if you were able to grow your business, what would that be worth to you? How about if you could get in front of customers and be known? What would that be worth to you? So listen, the value of this is over $5,000. And normally we would do a boot camp like this and we would charge $997. That's the regular price of what we would normally charge. All right. And I'm giving a special discount because I am trying to give back of my time to the industry. Listen, I have done these 200 interviews with people this year, and I have been giving back to the industry and helping them to get their message out. And I believe in supporting recovery in aviation and the industry around us, okay? And I'm going to give a special discount, is that I am going to provide you this growing in a virtual world boot camp. I'm not going to charge you $5,388. I'm not going to charge you the $997 regular price. It's going to be $297, okay? And if you indicated in this event here today that you're interested in this boot camp, you need to go to bootcamp.digitalaircraft.org and you need to finalize your registration, and it's going to be for just $297. You can click the link above and you can go there directly as well. And you need to be part of this, right? But I want to tell you one more thing. I'm giving you a guarantee. I just want to tell you this, right? You do not need to worry about this. If this boot camp, growing, your business in a virtual world, doesn't help you exactly how I've told you to grow your business, to get in front of customers and be known, and to know what to do without looking unprofessional, I just want to let you know is that I will refund your money. If you do not feel like this boot camp was worth your time and your money at the end, all you have to do is tell me, and I will refund 100%, of your money. The real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Okay. Even if it does half of what I'm claiming today, it would pay for itself, immediately, instantly. If all you did was join me to be part of the online live portion of this, you would learn new skills and abilities that you need to operate in this virtual world. Okay. But listen, there's one more thing I'm going to do for you, because I want you to have an additional bonus. Let me tell you what that is. All right. One more bonus. I am going to give you access to the Recovery in Aviation Virtual Summit videos from this summer, or what we did, to learn all the strategies and tactics. And that was worth $1,000, in itself. Let me just tell you what that is. Okay. Is that I had to work 6 months and do over 200 online interviews and spend thousands of dollars, to be able to create this. But you're not going to have to, because I'm going to give this to you 100% free. All right. This is going to be part of the $297 which you pay. This is going to make it faster and easier for you to be successful by following the strategies and tactics of the 61 people that we interviewed during that time. There's probably 70 or 80 hours worth of videos in here. And that alone in itself is knowledge that you're going to acquire from all those leaders in the industry. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not really sure I can use this. I'm not really sure if it's going to help me. Well, I'm just telling you right now is that between the hundreds of customers that I've worked with this year and the knowledge that they bring to the table, you are going to be able to be helped to go through and learn the things that they learned in this difficult time from these videos. And that's valued at $997. So the bottom line is, here's what you're going to get. All right. You're going to get all the things that I told you about: the boot camp, the live, the live session with me, the workbook, the videos, the audios, the bonus of accessing the Aviation Virtual Summit, the Recovery in Aviation Virtual Summit videos. The total value of that comes to over $6,000. Okay. And I'm going to basically give that to you for only $297. All right. And I know there's 400 of you that have already said that you're interested in joining. And I want to ask you to go now, right now, go to bootcamp.digitalaircraft.org and get yourself in there right now. Okay. So listen, it's Saturday. It's only 2 days away right now. All right. I encourage you to make that decision in your life, okay? What's holding you back right now, okay? There's only a few reasons why people would not make a decision, to do something like this, all right? Is that either you don't really know what to do, or you aren't sure what your next step is, or you need some additional help or some additional support. In all those cases, we're going to be here to be able to help you to be successful. And we're going to work with you, and we're going to mentor you, and we're going to help you to launch off into 2021. I am passionate about helping people in aviation to go digital, all right? I am passionate about driving recovery. I have been involved in aviation since I was 2 years old. My father set me up on the wing of an airplane, and it was shortly thereafter that I became involved in aviation. And when I was 13 years old, my dad put me in the cockpit of a Ford tri-motor, and I was hooked. I went back and got my student pilot license at 15 and a half, and I was flying airplanes, by the time I was 16, all right? And I have been involved in aviation for the rest of my life. Aviation connects us with other people. Aviation is critical. People need aviation, not just for commerce in business, but also for us to be involved in the things that are important in our life, and connecting with other people, and communication. And there's so many things that aviation brings. But to me, let me just share with you the passion for aviation that I have, and one of the reasons why I have it. Listen, I told you that I've traveled all around the world for many, many years. It's allowed me to experience cultures all around the world that I would have never seen if I wasn't involved in aviation. I've met people and cultures, and just my life has been so enriched by those things. Aviation is important to people, and it will not ever go away. It's important to commerce. It's important to people. It's an important part of our lives. I am committed to recovery and aviation, and I want to challenge you to join me in this mission of recovery in aviation, and to be part of the recovery in aviation. Go now to the link above in this event and click on it and finalize your registration for the boot camp on Saturday, just 2 days away. And if you want, you can go into your web browser and you can type in bootcamp.digitalaircraft.org and sign up, complete your registration. There's 400 of you that have already told me, I have 20,000 followers, all right? And 400 of you have already said, I'm going to do this, all right? Well, get in there and complete your registration and join me and my co-hosts on Saturday and be part of recovery in your own business and growing your own business in this new virtual world that we're in. Thank you for watching this today, and I am so excited about seeing you on Saturday. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Look forward to working with you and helping your business to be successful as we work together to recover in aviation. Thanks for being with me today. I'm going to say fair winds and following seas to you and sign off like I always do, and have a great day. Bye.